Welcome back to the What's More podcast. I'm your host, Quinton Harris. You're dialed in for 263. New studio, same headlines, new housing information, and higher loan limits. What does all that mean going into 2026 for homeowners? That and more in this episode at What's Your One More. Hey, we're at our new studios, super pumped. Take a look around. If you can, we got some stuff on social right now. My producer did a heck of a job. This is awesome that he set up. We built a lounge outside of the studio. We've got additional producing area. It's going to be really cool. We're going to show you that and more in these upcoming episodes. But let's get into a couple of things here. So, we took a little time off of the podcast. Took us about 2 weeks to relocate. I started getting text messages, started getting some emails. People going, "Hey, Q, have you canceled the podcast? Are you still doing the pod? What's up?" And I was like, no. I may be quiet, and that's not that I've lost my voice or that anything's wrong. I was just trying to find the right hill to die on, and I have. And for a lot of people, it's going to be uncomfortable, and get ready and buckle up because we got a lot to bring to you in more of these next upcoming episodes. So let's get started. Let's talk about some things here. Recent headline from Zillow says 53% of U.S. homes have gone down in value compared to 14% from a year ago. So pretty lethargic headline when you take a look at that here. And I kind of question that because when we look at that, is that really true? The average homeowner is now owning their home for 8 years compared to, in the past, studies showed 5 years. 8 years now. A lot of homeowners have a tremendous amount of equity. We've talked about this over and over again on the show here. Headline, down 53%. If I'm a future homeowner and I'm looking at this, I'm like, man, I don't want to buy. Homes are going down. This is a bad headline, right? What they're showing and what they're reflecting is that we all go to Zestimate, right? Zillow's estimated form of value, and you might sign up, you might get emails, and you might notice a little down arrow. You might notice a green up arrow. But homes are going down in these estimates, right? That doesn't mean the value of your home went down. That just means Zestimate saying it went down. And that's not the end-all, be-all, because we wouldn't get appraisals if it was up to Zillow and there's estimates, right? But a deceiving headline, because later on in this particular study and in particular headline here, you'll find that they talk about values are actually up in some areas and down in others. But yet, how did they come up with 53%? How did they come up with 53% of homes are down in value? Well, let's look at it this way. If all the homes across America, when they did this survey or when they kind of looked at the Zestimate and said, hey, you had a down arrow, 53% of them were down. Okay, maybe they're down 0.5%, maybe they're off. And the one thing about Zestimate is it's a month-to-month indicator, meaning it goes up, it goes down. I've signed up for it to see how the tool works, and it's almost like a Christmas light. Every now and then it's green, every now and then it's red, it's up or down. It's not consistent, especially in this market. But that doesn't mean home values are deteriorating, home values are off, and it doesn't mean home prices are off 53%. So one of the things I want to talk about is the Federal Housing Finance Agency. That's ran by Bill Pulte, and that's the government agency that monitors Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Now, what's interesting is every year around today's date, which is the end of November heading into December, they release what we call the new conventional loan limit. Now, what's interesting about that is that loan limit is determined based on loans that were done in home values that were bought during the time of the evaluation of 1124 to 1125. Well, in this evaluation, they've assessed that values have gone up 3.2%. So here it is, an annual rise of 3.2% of all homes that are purchased through Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Now, again, those are finance deals. So when you look at some other resources out there that come in and say, hey, home prices are this, and appreciation is XYZ, sometimes those include cash deals, and cash deals can be more competitive, thus driving the price down. But when you're financing it and you're going through Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, sometimes those deals aren't as competitive as far as negotiations. You might get more closer to the list price, and that is showing that homes went up 3.2%. So because of that, they established a new higher loan limit. And so you'll see this chart on our YouTube channel at What's Your One More. That's at What's Your One More with number one. Love putting charts on the show. Our friends over at Housing Wire produced a great graph here showing these conventional loan limits over a course of a 10-year window. Now, in 2016, that loan limit was $417,000. That was 9 years ago, getting ready to be 10 years ago. We've effectively doubled that. You've doubled the size of the conventional loan limit. Now, in 2016, that loan limit was $417,000 for just about a decade. And that's because of what happened during, 2008, 7, 8, 9, 10, you go on and on. But it was there for a long time at $417,000. But look at the ramp up in this graph, and it's pretty significant, the increases of loan sizes through there. And why is that important? Well, because as a homeowner, the prices are going up. And if these loan limits didn't go up and adjust with the prices, you wouldn't be able to buy a home at 5% down. You wouldn't be able to do heck, 10% down in some cases. So these loan limits move up to adjust to the values of the property and the asking prices, selling prices, finance prices. Let me say that one more time. The values are determined, loan limits are determined based on the values of the properties being sold and financed. So why on earth are we getting an article by Zillow saying 53% of all homes are going down in value, and yet we have a curve that's tracked by the Federal Housing Finance Agency, who gets all the data from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, that's suggesting the prices went up 3.2%. See, this is the stuff that's not published because it's not a fun headline to grab. And a lot of people don't want to admit that home prices are actually extremely stable and in some cases going up. And I think that this kind of speaks volumes to that. And it's important to us here on the show to talk about that because, again, as a homeowner going into 2026, I need to be armed with the right information and armed with the facts, not the fear-mongering that's online right now and in these articles coming out. So let's take a look at a couple other things here on this. I think that when I look at lenders as a whole, one of the things I try to take a look at is like aggressive stances or how does something like this work. Obviously, you can't take advantage of this till January 1st, but a lot of lenders will allow you to go ahead and currently do that loan limit. They'll allow you to go ahead, start financing it, getting done ahead of the curve. So if you're a homeowner and you're wanting to kind of jump ahead of this, the opportunity's there. What I would start taking a look at right now is where's my window of opportunity? You have sellers that are, for the first time in history, taking more homes off the market, what we call delisting, at such a rapid rate that we haven't seen before. That's not a bad thing. It actually happens during the holidays, but it's happening more now than ever before at a rapid rate because there's so many homes that were on the market that are now coming back off during the holiday season, which again makes sense. You don't want to have your home listed during Thanksgiving and during Christmas and, just people you don't know coming in inside of your house during that time. So this is a natural course of action that happens. It's just happening to be that we had more homes on the market than before. However, here's where the win is for a new buyer. Today's episode is brought to you by Texana Bank Mortgage. They're coming to the table with a revolutionary product. It's called REMLO, Real Estate Mortgage Loan Originator. And what they are doing is they are taking real estate agents and they're taking loan officers, and for the first time in history, they're putting them together under one umbrella. They're actually taking two industries right now that sit on top of each other, and they're putting them together and backing it by a full-service bank licensed in all 50 states. So imagine this, you're not just an agent anymore, you're a full-service agent. You're the single trusted point of contact for your client in this entire process. You're seeing the loan and the home search front to end. It's going to change the dynamic of real estate and mortgage lending together. Now, if you're a real estate agent, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go to askaboutremlo.com. That's askaboutremlo.com. Because what you're going to find there are significant details about this program, how to enroll, and how to gather more information. So if you're ready to adapt and thrive, go to askaboutremlo.com. That's askaboutremlo.com. So if I'm a new homeowner going into 2026, I started thinking about what does that look like as I start to think about, okay, what do I need to set the stage for? Are there planning I need to do? A couple plans you need to do. Meet with your lender, get pre-approved. Meet with your real estate agent, identify a budget, identify exactly what home you're looking for. Look at those homes now during the holiday season, especially if they're available. Maybe they came off the market, they were delisted, but look at those homes now, because what you want to take advantage of are these cooperative sellers that are willing to work with you in the form of helping you with a lower rate, paying closing costs, many different avenues you can take advantage of on there. However, if you wait into Q1, and we know the Federal Reserve has set the stage for quantitative easing, lower rates. We don't need them to lower the Fed funds rate in order for the bond market to deteriorate. The yields get lower, and then all of a sudden the 30-year fixed mortgage rate gets lower as well. The stage is set. Maybe look at doing that now versus into next year, because into next year, you might be in a crowded space with other buyers who are thinking the same thing. Look at this now, identify the property, get pre-approved. It's a great time to take a look at these properties. And again, don't believe the headlines. This 53% of homes are lower now than what they were at the beginning of the year is just a botched headline. Don't buy into that. Don't get caught up into these, headlines, these clickbaits, doom porn, as we call it on here before. There's a lot of people that want to tell you what you need to do. Start analyzing the facts for yourself and get ahead of the curve. So guys, if you like what you're hearing, please take a look at us on YouTube at What's Your One More with the number one, and subscribe to our channel and check us out on Spotify and Apple. Until the next episode, I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving and give thanks to be with family and health. Guys, see you at the next episode of What's Your One More.
I got one more shot, I'm gonna make it. One more chance, I'm gonna take it. I meant it when I said it, now it's time for me to do it. I got one life to live, so I put my all into it.